Welcome to Win Education. This is the chapter number 3, Democracy and Diversity. And the overview of this chapter is this. In the last chapter, we saw how power can be distributed to accommodate linguistic and regional diversities. But language and region are not the only features that give a distinct identity to people. Sometimes people also identify themselves and relate with others on the basis of their physical appearance, class, religion, gender, caste, tribe, etc. In this chapter, we study how democracy responds to social differences, divisions, and inequalities. We begin with an example of public expression of social divisions. We then draw some general lessons about how social differences can take various forms. We then turn to how democratic politics affects and is affected by these social differences. Now, our first topic is a story from Mexico Olympic. The picture on this page depicts an important landmark in the history of the civil rights movements in the United States. These represent the medal ceremony of the 200 meters race in the 1968 Olympics held at Mexico City. The two men standing with clenched fists upraised and heads bowed, while the American national anthem was played, are the US athletes Tommy Smith and John Carlos. They are African Americans. They had won the gold and bronze medals respectively. They received their medals wearing black socks and no shoes to represent black poverty. With this gesture, they try to draw international attention to racial discrimination in the United States. The black gloved and raised clenched fists were meant to symbolize black power. The silver medalist with white Australian athlete Peter Norman wore a human rights badge on his shirt during the ceremony to show his support to the two Americans. Do you think that Carlos and Smith should have raised an internal matter of American society in an international forum? Would you say that what they did was political? Why do you think Peter Norman, who was neither black nor American, joined in the gesture of protest? If you were in Norman's place, what would you do? The International Olympic Association held Carlos and Smith guilty of violating the Olympic spirit by making a political statement their medals were taken back home. They were subjected to a lot of criticism. Norman too suffered for this action and was not included in the Australian team for the next Olympic. But their action succeeded in gaining international attention for the civil rights movement in the US. Recently, the San Jose, pronounced San Jose State University, of which they were former students, honored them and installed their status in the university campus. When Norman died in 2006, Smith and Carlos were pallbearers at his funeral. Students, till now, some important questions are there. I'm marking you. This glossary is very important. This glossary is very important. Please learn the civil rights movement in USA, African American, Black Power, and these all questions. These all questions is also very important to the point of view of examination. Thank you.